Here's something most men never think about. Women are rarely direct when they like you. They won't walk up and say, "Hey, I'm into you." Instead, they'll show it in small, subtle ways that you'll miss if you're not paying attention. And here's the truth. Most guys miss it completely. They either overthink it, assume she's just being nice, or ignore the signs until it's too late. But when you understand what women actually do when they're genuinely interested, everything about dating and attraction becomes so much clearer. Now, this might surprise you. Women are wired to test interest without risking rejection. In psychology, this is called indirect communication. It's how women gauge whether a man is confident enough to notice and calm enough not to overreact. She's not just testing your eyes or your words. She's observing how you respond. That's why men who are emotionally grounded, observant, and unbothered tend to attract women effortlessly. They pick up on cues that other men completely overlook. The problem is, in today's dating world, most men have been misled. They think attraction only shows up through big gestures, like flirting, compliments, or direct messages, but real interest often hides in small, consistent actions. A woman who truly likes you won't always say it, but she'll reveal it through her body language, her energy, and how she prioritizes you when you're not even around. And that's exactly what we're breaking down today. The 4 things women only do if they truly like you. These signs aren't the obvious ones you'll find on social media. They're backed by psychology and real female behavior, the kind of actions that happen naturally when her emotions are genuinely involved. Welcome to the channel. If you've ever felt confused about whether a woman is into you or just being friendly, this video is going to clear that up for good. By the end, you'll be able to tell with confidence when a woman's interest is real and when it's just polite attention. 1. She finds subtle reasons to be around you. When a woman genuinely likes you, she won't always make it obvious, at least not at first, but her actions will start to give her away. One of the clearest signs is when she finds little, almost random reasons to be near you. It's not about chasing or being desperate. It's about curiosity and emotional pull. She wants to be close enough to feel your energy, to observe how you carry yourself, and to see how you respond to her presence. Think about it. Women are intuitive. They pick up on body language, tone, and small details more than men realize. So when she keeps showing up where you are, maybe she happens to walk by your desk, sit near you at a gathering, or linger in a conversation longer than necessary. That's rarely coincidence. It's a quiet form of interest. She's not ready to announce she likes you, but she's drawn in enough to position herself within your space. There's also a psychological reason behind this. Studies show that proximity increases attraction. The more we're exposed to someone, the stronger our emotional response becomes toward them. Women understand this on a subconscious level. Being around you gives her the comfort of familiarity, while allowing her to slowly build connection without appearing too forward. Now here's what separates confident men from everyone else. They notice it, but they don't act needy or overexcited about it. They stay grounded. They acknowledge her presence without chasing validation from it. Because if she feels you're calm and composed, her attraction grows. But if she senses you're desperate for attention, it kills the curiosity she felt. Let's make this real. Imagine you're at a social event, and she somehow keeps ending up near you, commenting on something you said, laughing at your jokes, or joining a group conversation when you're part of it. She's creating opportunities to interact, but she's leaving you the space to take the lead. That's her quiet invitation. 2. She mirrors your energy and behavior. One of the most powerful yet underrated signs that a woman truly likes you is when she starts mirroring your energy. It's not something she plans, it's instinctive. When a woman is emotionally drawn to a man, her subconscious begins to align with his behavior, tone, and rhythm. This is called behavioral mirroring, and science has proven that it's one of the strongest indicators of connection and attraction. Here's what that looks like. If you're calm, composed, and confident in how you speak, she'll naturally start matching that tone. If you lean in while talking, she might mirror your posture. If you slow down your speech, she'll slow hers too. It's not about imitation. It's about harmony. When a woman mirrors you, it means she feels safe, understood, and emotionally in sync. Her body language literally adapts to your presence. This happens because, on a biological level, humans have mirror neurons, parts of the brain that respond both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else doing it. When she likes you, her mirror neurons light up. That's her body's way of saying, I'm connected to this person. But here's where most men mess up. They try too hard to adjust their own behavior to impress her, instead of staying grounded and letting her fall into their frame. Attraction works best when she aligns to your energy, not the other way around. If you're too reactive, changing your tone, your humor, or your attitude depending on her mood, you lose your sense of centeredness. And when a man loses that calm, consistent frame, a woman's attraction begins to fade. This mirroring can show up in subtle ways too, like matching your texting pace, using similar words, or laughing at the same kind of humor. When she starts picking up your habits or expressions, that's not coincidence. That's emotional rapport in motion. Here's what you should do when you notice this. Don't call it out, don't make it awkward, and definitely don't use it as an ego boost. Just continue being authentic and self-assured. When you maintain your energy and allow her to naturally sync with it, the connection strengthens. So, if you notice a woman subtly reflecting your words, your tone, or your pace, that's not random. That's her way of bonding without saying it outright. She's showing that she's tuned into you. And when a woman feels emotionally in tune with a man, attraction deepens without effort. 3. She pays attention to the details most men miss. When a woman likes you, she notices things that other people completely overlook. It's one of the most powerful, and honestly, one of the most underrated signs of genuine attraction. Women are naturally observant, but when she's into you, her attention becomes laser-focused. She'll remember what you said weeks ago. She'll notice small changes in your tone or appearance, and she'll bring up details that even you forgot you mentioned. This isn't just a female intuition thing. It's psychological. When someone feels emotionally invested, their brain becomes more alert to cues connected to that person. In other words, she's subconsciously tracking you because her mind associates you with emotional value. That's why she remembers your favorite snack, recalls the story you told her about your brother, or notices when your mood is slightly off. Men often underestimate this level of attentiveness. They assume women just have good memories, but in reality, this kind of awareness only shows up when she cares. When a woman is indifferent, she won't store personal information about you. She might forget things you said or mix up details about your life. But when she's genuinely interested, she'll bring up those little things. And that's her quiet way of showing emotional investment. You might hear her say things like, "You mentioned last week you were tired. Did you ever get a chance to rest?" Or, "You still wear that cologne I like." Those comments aren't random. They're a mix of curiosity and subtle emotional signaling. She's letting you know she's paying attention without having to spell it out. But here's the part men need to understand. How you respond to that attention matters. If you get overly excited, try to reward her for noticing or start oversharing. It can flip the dynamic. Instead, stay calm, appreciate the moment, respond naturally, and keep the interaction grounded. That calm confidence reinforces her attraction because it shows you're used to being noticed, that you're not surprised by attention. Women are drawn to men who don't crave validation. When she realizes she has to earn your emotional response, even just a smile or a subtle acknowledgement, she becomes more intrigued. Her mind starts associating your approval with effort, and that deepens her attraction on a subconscious level. 4. She opens up and gets a little vulnerable around you. One of the clearest signs a woman genuinely likes you is when she starts to lower her guard and let you see sides of her that most people don't get to see. Women are naturally protective of their emotions. They won't open up or show vulnerability around a man they don't trust or feel drawn to. But when she feels a certain emotional safety with you, when your presence makes her feel calm instead of cautious, her behavior changes. You'll notice that the conversation shifts from surface-level topics to more personal ones. She starts sharing stories about her past, her family, her insecurities, or even her fears. It's not random small talk anymore. It's emotional exposure. And here's the key part. She's not doing it for pity or attention. She's doing it because she feels safe being real around you. Psychologically, this happens because attraction and trust are deeply connected in women's minds. When she's drawn to you, her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That hormone encourages openness, comfort, and emotional connection. So, when she starts confiding in you, it's not just because she enjoys your company. It's because her emotions are already attaching themselves to you on a deeper level. Now, this is where a lot of men unknowingly mess things up. When a woman becomes open or emotional, some men either become too eager to fix her problems or they freeze up because they're not used to emotional conversations. The key isn't to fix or overreact, it's to listen calmly. When you listen without judgment, without rushing to offer solutions, you show her that you can handle her emotional world. And that's incredibly attractive. Another subtle sign that she's becoming vulnerable is when she lets her guard down physically, like being more relaxed around you, laughing freely, or even sharing silence without feeling awkward. Those are not small things. They mean her defenses are down, and she's allowing connection to happen naturally. 5. She playfully challenges you, but never disrespects you. When a woman truly likes you, she'll often show it by testing your strength in subtle, playful ways. It's not about disrespect or trying to dominate you. It's about seeing how solid you really are. Women are naturally drawn to men who can handle their energy without becoming defensive, insecure, or overly serious. That's why when she's attracted to you, she'll throw in small challenges, teasing you, questioning your opinions, or giving you that sly smile after making a bold comment. It's her way of saying, "Can you handle me?" You might notice it when she lightly disagrees with you, just to see how you respond, or when she jokes in a way that's slightly flirty but testing at the same time. Most men misread this completely. They either take it too seriously and become defensive, or they get intimidated and start trying to win her approval. Both of those reactions kill attraction fast. What she's really doing in those moments is reading your emotional strength. She wants to see if you can stay calm, confident, and lighthearted, the same way you'd respond to a younger sibling's teasing. When you don't get thrown off or try too hard to prove yourself, she subconsciously feels safer and more attracted. Because deep down, women want a man whose mood doesn't depend on theirs. Let's make this clear. Attraction grows when there's tension. Not hostility, but emotional tension. When she playfully challenges you, she's creating that spark. She's building chemistry. If you can meet her energy with relaxed confidence, it becomes a dance instead of a debate. Here's a simple situation to make this real. You're having a conversation, and she smirks and says, "Oh, so you really think you're that charming?" Most guys would instantly try to defend themselves or start complimenting her to smooth things over. The confident man? He just smiles and says, "You tell me," or playfully shrugs it off. That relaxed response tells her he's not rattled, and that calm self-assurance draws her in even deeper. Women love men who don't take themselves too seriously, but also don't let anyone shake their frame. That balance, being light-hearted yet self-assured, is rare, and it's one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. 6. The hidden advantage: how self-awareness separates you from other men. Now, this one might surprise you because it's not loud, flashy, or something women can even describe easily. But it's one of the most quietly magnetic traits a man can have: self-awareness. Self-awareness means you know who you are, what you stand for, and how you come across. You're not pretending to be perfect or trying to impress everyone. You understand your strengths and weaknesses, and you own them. That level of self-acceptance radiates maturity, confidence, and stability, 3 things women instinctively trust and are drawn to. See, most men are constantly trying to act confident. They puff up their chest, flex their social muscles, or talk about their achievements, but women can sense when it's performative. Real confidence doesn't need to prove itself. A self-aware man doesn't need validation, because his worth isn't dependent on other people's reactions. He's comfortable with who he is, and that makes women feel comfortable around him too. From a psychological standpoint, studies show that self-aware individuals are perceived as more emotionally intelligent, which leads to stronger social connections and greater relationship satisfaction. Women subconsciously associate this with safety, both emotional and psychological. When she's around a man who understands himself, she feels she can open up without being judged or misunderstood. Self-awareness also shows up in small, subtle ways. You admit when you're wrong. You know how to handle rejection without bitterness. You don't project your insecurities onto her. You're emotionally grounded, and that's incredibly rare. Most people, men or women, avoid self-reflection because it's uncomfortable. But the man who confronts his inner world earns quiet respect and lasting attraction. So while other men are chasing external validation, you're mastering internal control. That's what separates boys from men. And trust me, when a woman senses that level of centeredness in you, she won't just find you attractive, she'll remember you. 7. The quiet power: why emotional control makes you irresistible. Here's the truth that few men realize: women are not just drawn to how you look or what you have. They're drawn to how you make them feel. And one of the most powerful ways to affect a woman emotionally is through emotional control. Your ability to stay calm, grounded, and unshaken, no matter what's happening around you. When a man has emotional control, he's not reactive. He doesn't get easily frustrated, jealous, or insecure. He doesn't let his emotions dictate his actions. He leads with composure. And to a woman, that kind of steadiness is intoxicating. It signals protection, strength, and maturity. The exact qualities that trigger her deep, biological sense of safety and respect. Think about it. When you can handle chaos without losing your cool, you instantly become the calm in her storm. That emotional stability communicates dominance in the most subtle way, not through aggression, but through restraint. It tells her, I'm in control of myself. I don't need to fight for attention or react to prove my worth. That self-command separates you from 95% of men who crumble under emotional pressure. Science backs this up. Studies in evolutionary psychology show that women are subconsciously attracted to men who can regulate their emotions because it signals intelligence, social power, and reliability, traits linked to long-term potential. It's not about being emotionless, it's about emotional mastery. When a woman sees that you don't get easily thrown off by her tests, her mood swings, or life's challenges, her attraction deepens. She feels safe, not just physically, but emotionally. Because the truth is, a man who can't control his emotions will always end up controlled by them. But the man who can stay steady, patient, and focused under pressure, he's rare. And in the eyes of a woman, rare means irresistible. Here's the thing most men don't realize. Women don't always say what they feel, but their behavior will always reveal it. The truth is, when a woman likes you, she doesn't need to announce it. She shows it. In her attention, her effort, her vulnerability, and her emotional openness. And if you're paying attention to these quiet signals, you'll see them loud and clear. But here's the controversial truth. Many men miss these signs because they're too focused on chasing instead of observing. They mistake a woman's calm interest for disinterest, or her subtle affection for confusion. In reality, attraction isn't always dramatic or obvious. Sometimes it's in the small moments, the consistent check-ins, the way she listens, the softness in her tone when she talks to you versus everyone else. If you start recognizing these 4 key things, her emotional investment, her curiosity about your world, her willingness to make effort, and her calm patience around you, you'll start to see attraction differently. It's not about games or guessing. It's about awareness. Women reveal far more through their energy and actions than through words. So here's my challenge to you. Stop over-analyzing what she says and start observing how she behaves. You'll notice things you never did before. And I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a woman doing any of these things? Did you realize what they meant at the time? Or did it only make sense later? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. I read every one of them and respond personally. Because at the end of the day, understanding women isn't about decoding mystery. It's about learning to pay attention to what's right in front of you.